Hey guys, welcome to Algebra 1, Lesson 84. So we're back to graphs. If you don't have graphing paper, then you need to make sure you get some graphing paper quickly because you will find yourself working a little harder to make a nice, neat graph on your paper. By the way, if you don't have graphing paper and you do have to use lined paper to make your graph, you need to make sure that you use a ruler to make your lines nice and straight and even. If they're not, I'm going to tell you that your graph is not acceptable and you need to do it again, okay? But the best option would be to use graphing paper because the lines are already there for you. All right, let's get started with our lesson. We're talking about graphical solutions. So we've already learned how to solve a solution set like this, y equals x plus 1 and y equals negative 2x plus 4, by substitution or by elimination, but we can also solve that by graphing it. And wherever your two lines, so where this line intersects and where this line intersects, where this line intersects with this line, that is where our solution is for our equation. And I'll show you in just a minute. But first of all, I want to remind you that whenever we have an equation like this, you have two variables and they're both first degree. Remember that the degree of a variable would be the sum of your exponents. So here, your exponent is 1 and your exponent is 1. So these are both the first degree, so that means your entire equation is a first degree equation. So when you have two variables, two different variables in a first degree equation, you're always going to get a line when you graph it, okay? So that is important. It might seem really random, but it actually is important, and we're going to see a little bit more of why in our next lesson. All right, so let's jump into how we solve this. Okay, so for this line, y equals x plus 1. So I'm going to set it up and find my values. So I'm going to set up my little charts for x and for y. You always need a minimum of 2, but sometimes 3 points is better because it's a little bit more accurate. Now, a graphical solution is never quite as accurate as using substitution or elimination because sometimes you have to kind of más o menos where it intersects. All right, so for this one, if y equals x plus 1, if I say that x is 0, we'll do negative 1 and 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1, negative 1 plus 1 is 0, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So now I'll graph those points. X is 0, so I don't move on my x-axis at all, I stay right here. Y is 1, so that's right there. Okay, now I have x is negative 1, so I move negative 1. Y is 0, meaning I don't go anywhere, so I'll mark right there. And let's see, x is 1, so move over 1, y is 2. Okay, so there are my 3 points. Take a ruler and draw your line. You want to make it longer than just your 3 points because you're not sure yet where your other line is going to be and you want to make sure that it intersects. I might even have to extend my line. So now I have the negative 2x plus 4 equation. So I'll do the same thing and find my points. Let's see. Kind of ran into the thing. Hold on 1 second, guys. My ruler fell over. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do 0, negative 1, and 1. Okay, so 0 times negative 2 is 0, plus 4 is 4. Negative 1 times negative 2 would be positive 2, plus 4 is 6. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2, plus 4 is positive 2. Okay, plot those points. X is 0, y is 4. X is negative 1, y is positive 6. X is positive 1, y is positive 2. Okay. Use my ruler to draw a line through those points. Try to go through the center of the points. Okay. So I can see where they intersect. That's right here at this point. So this point is 1 over, write that up here, 1 over, so x is 1, and 2 up, so y is 2. So my equation is 1, 2. Or the solution of my equation, I should say. Okay, super easy, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's try the next example. I'm going to erase this, reset my graph a little bit. Okay. Give me just a minute to reset all of this. Okay. So my next equation, according to my book, would be y equals 2 and y equals x. Y equals 2 and y equals x. All right, well, the very first one, I don't even have to do anything for this one. Y equals 2. So that means no matter what my x value is, y is going to be 2. If x is negative 5, y is going to be 2. If x is 0, y is 2. If x is 3, y is 2. No matter what, y is 2. I'm not going to draw a line through these points because then that will erase my entire line that I have written up here. So I'm going to just leave it like this for the moment, okay? But just notice it's a straight line across. Okay? So then the next one, y equals x. I'm just going to do 2 points for this one. 0 and 2. If x is 0, that means y is 0. If x is 2, that means y is 2. So 0, 0. X is 2, y is 2. Just like that. So then I draw my line through my points. Oops. Now I know that here, this line goes like this. So where do they intersect? They intersect right here at this point. So what point is that? 2 over, so x is 2. 1, 2 up, so y is 2. So the solution is 2, 2. Okay, let's try another one before we get to your practice. Okay. So here we have y equals x plus 2. And y equals x minus 1. So let's set it up. My x and y's for my first equation. If I say 0, negative 1, and 1 again. 0 plus 2 is 2, negative 1 plus 2 is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3. I'll plot that on my graph. 0, positive 2, negative 1x, positive 1y, and positive 1x, positive 3y. Okay, so that's my first line. Okay, then I have my next one. Set up my x and y's. I'll do the same ones. 0, negative 1, and 1. 0 minus 1 would be negative 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. Plot that. 0, negative 1. Oops, I have this written backwards. I have negative 6 here. It's supposed to be negative 1, but I don't think you can see it. Okay, so good. Then I have x, when x is negative 1, y is negative 2. When x is 1, y is 0. Okay. Interesting. Notice when I draw my line, these lines are parallel. Are they ever going to intersect? No, they're not. So because they will never intersect, there is no solution to these graphs. No number will satisfy both this graph or this equation and this equation at the same time. Okay, I want you to go ahead and pause your video now and do your practice. Okay, you should be back from your practice now. So for letter A, the solution is 2, 1. So your first graph should have looked like, or your second graph should have looked like this, and your first graph of your equation should look like this. They intersect at the point 2, 1. Then letter B, your solution is 4, 4. Y is 4, so you have a horizontal line across the 4. Then your other one is y equals x. So whatever x is, y is the same thing. So if x is 2, y is 2. If x is 3, y is 3. If x is 4, y is 4. So they intersect here at the point 4, 4. Okay? All right, if you have any questions, just let me know. Go ahead and get started with your practice set. Have a great day.